Lived experiences is bringing a new social innovation program into the community. Something that's really unheard of, that we really need in our community. I started this program because of my own experience in life. And I wasn't educated. I was very disconnected from my own family, from my own community, and even from the whole system itself, Oceanside itself. The whole idea is to bring as much wonderful people together, to really have a support system for not only our youth, but also our homeless people, or just our working families itself. I'm on a mission to educate, to heal, and to support our communities. The more we smile, the better we live.
Events like this are highly of importance. I mean, it brings awareness to people that don't have this information or not really aware of what's happening out there. It brings people together from all aspects and really have that conversation, a real raw conversation, a human conversation, and how do we come together as a team, as a city, as a community.
All right, it's that time again. The food was darn good. You know, and there's nothing like breaking bread together, which just reminds us of the power of the collective. When I was young, Nelson Mandela was in prison in South Africa, and if there was one community hero of the time of mine, it was definitely Nelson Mandela. Yes, and I will never forget when he was imprisoned and people would interview him and they would say, "Oh, you're so amazing," and "Oh, you're so wonderful," and his answer was always the same. It is the power of the collective. And that has resonated with me for my whole life. And I feel like this collective is about on the verge of doing some great things in the eye of this storm, right? And so it reminded me, and Josh, thank you, because you reminded me with your South African reference, just reminded me that we need to call on all of our ancestors. So I want you to take a minute and think about an ancestor, and maybe they're not even related to you, because Nelson Mandela is not related to me, although we're all from Africa. He might be my great-grandfather. He might be. So think for a minute about an ancestor that you want to hold on to as we do this work, as we move forward, the ancestor, or maybe an elder that's alive today. And oftentimes, I know I asked this question not long ago, and T, who is one of our speakers, said, Harriet Tubman. And if the abolitionists are not people that we want to look to for inspiration, I don't know who there is, right? So hold on to an ancestor now as we move forward in this work. So we had a lot of talk this morning, a lot of people sharing and thinking and trying to get us to look in a different way or think in a different way, even though all of us are well aware of the challenges that we face. But what is unique is our lived experiences and our identities and our ideas about how to move forward. So we're going to do some talking about that. But we're also going to spend some time listening to some other community voices because there are always other people to consider. But if you will take a minute right now and turn to the person next to you and say, once again, I'm so glad you came, and this is what I'm thinking about. And now a reminder to all of you. I am very old, so I have lived through many of America's dark days. And although I am a person of privilege that has had a lovely life, I have seen so much unhappiness and hurt and anger politically across the spectrum in so many times. And in the end, we persevered. So for this group at this time, let's continue to bend the arc towards justice. Let's bend that arc, okay? Yes. And as we get ready now to hear from some more community voices, I want to remind you that while love fixes all, I love also what T said this morning, that love is often painful, right? So our discomfort, our loving our people when it's hard is always going to make us a little bit uncomfortable. But I believe in the human spirit, and if we can stay human-centered, we can do anything. If we can stay focused on what people need, we can do anything. So I am pleased, proud, I got to come over here so that I get her name right, and ready to introduce Joanne Taufilis from the Mina Med Arts and Cultural Center, who I'm going to wipe this off, and she going, come on up. Mina.
Oh my goodness. She said she's old, but she's not 76, going on 77. She did say lived experiences, and I don't want to go into my personal life, but believe me, I have. But what I want to share with you today is so important about what we can do as people to help heal the world, that we do in the community. I'm with the Pyramid Arts and Cultural Center. I'm a UNESCO National Commissioner, and we now are operating the UNESCO Center for Peace for California and Baja. What we've done, what I've been working on, is facilitating the creation of 12 miles of murals this size from all over the world. We've done, that means 5,280 plus murals, and we do them in response to every human and natural disaster, as well as educational and women's rights, all the things that are in the UN Sustainable Development Goals. I wanted to share this one with you because I only have a couple of minutes, but this is the second mural we did for the Uvalde shooting. We do one in every response to every school shooting and natural disaster as well. And this signifies where we went to the Las Vegas Tejano Music Festival, and over 1,000 signatures of musicians are on here. So talk about collective. This is what happens when you do one thing with a few people, creating a mural with paint. This one particularly represents the stars of the children's names, and then there's some angel wings on the two teachers. But you can imagine, we grieve, and the people who lose these loved ones grieve. And this is what we've been doing for 22 years now. It started with 350 orphans in Bosnia, and they created the first mural, and the theme was yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So my short talk to you today is live for today, think about tomorrow. We can't do anything about the past. And if everybody does one thing, and we do this creatively through the arts, because you'll see drumming at the end of our session together today. This is what we do. And I'll tell you, people burst into tears. There's people that are from Uvalde. When we were in last year, San Antonio happened the same kind of thing, and we sent a mural there. We have letters from Buffalo and all the places that we've been that shows us that people really care. So that's what I wanted to share with you, and hope that if you ever want to do a mural, we have tons of materials. I'll be happy to donate canvas, and we can always raise money or get, what do they call it, paint, whatever, to help you. But really, these work. And I can tell you that it makes us feel good that we let people know who have been impacted by these tragedies, that we as a community and as individuals are thinking about them. So come to our center. We're right behind Mission St. Louis Ray, and we have drum circles regularly, and we paint almost every day. So thank you.
Well, thank you. We're going to keep it rolling. And I want to say some of these individuals that are going to be speaking today, it is their very, very first time, some of them. So can we just have a round of applause for that? A few of them come from either Palomar or Miracosta Transitions Program, for example. And these are people who have formerly been incarcerated, and now they are making the transition to other things. And they are extremely nervous, and I'm not going to tell you which ones are which. And I am not going to even tell you about a young one that was like, I had something, but I didn't know it was all these people, so now I don't have anything. So it's really important that we had that first session with all of these people that are doing so many amazing things in the community, and they get funded, and they get celebrated. And then you have individuals that are just going to speak for the first time. My name is Kelly Davis, and I'm a board member at Lived Experiences. And one of the things that I applaud, Oscarine Ortega, thank you. So this is going to be a little bit of an organic experience. Have you all ever remembered your first time? I'm going to keep it clean. And I'm going to try to keep this microphone clean as well for individuals. That's why I have gloves. But what I would like to first do is welcome Butterfly Love Hugs of Flutter Your Potential. I got gloves. I'm fine.
And you have a mic, you darling. Yes, yes, yes. Good afternoon. Today is all about me. I am the theme for today. Yes, my legal name is Butterfly. First name, last name is Love Hugs, Luvhugz. And I am the theme for today. Because the theme is what? Transformation. It's not the theme transformation. It's love. It's not the theme love. And voice. I am the founder of Flutter Your Potential. Flutter is an acronym. It's not just the name of my business. It's an acronym. And it's how I teach teens and young adults, especially Black LGBTQ teens and young adults, how to transform their lives. It's how I teach them to turn their crawl into a soar. And that is so important. Because I remember as a kid growing up on the south side of Chicago, yes, we didn't have a voice. Our voice was given to us by someone else. So if you look at the name Butterfly and Flutter, right in the middle of the two of those words is the word utter. And that's how I help people find their voice. And one of the reasons why I do it is because of a nursery rhyme that was detrimental to young people like me, and maybe even you. Some of you know it. I'll say the first word, and if you know it, you can repeat it after me, or repeat it with me. Here we go. Sticks. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. That is a lie. But how many kids growing up, for me on the south side of Chicago, repeated that phrase over and over and over in a nursery rhyme? So if I was called nigger, it wasn't supposed to hurt me. If I was called fat, it wasn't supposed to what? It wasn't supposed to hurt me. And as a Black queer woman, how many other Black queer women in the room? Stand up if you're another Black queer woman like me. I don't see anybody standing. So it's important that the words we speak, because life and what? Death is what? In the power of the tongue. And there's so many generations after generation after generation that we've spoken death to one another. So I teach young people how to speak love to themselves. And that's why I teach them to flutter. Flutter, y'all can write it down. F, forgiveness. L, loving unconditionally. U, understanding who you are. First T, trust your intuition. Second T, think differently. And the concept is when you begin to do all those 5 things, you naturally begin to emerge, and rise to your greatness. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. We're just going to keep it going. I would like to welcome Bianca Lopez of Rasta's Rags.
Hello, how's it going today? So it is pronounced Ratas Rags. I was born in the year of 1996, so I took on the rat. And for such a long time, I was terrified of rats. My brothers kind of like left me with some PTSD. They ended up throwing a rat at me after it was like caught and snapped and completely dead. And since that moment, I had been really terrified. But recently, I started to really, analyze rats, kind of understand what they were about. And I feel like as a society, we have really deemed rats to be this really thing that you don't want to look at. They kind of just get in the way. They make a mess. But they're still they still play a role, and they still add to this beautiful life that we have here on Earth. So I started Ratas Rags, and it's been about a year now. We are based here in Oceanside, and we are rooted in creativity. We really believe that having clothing as like an outward experience to be important in like our self-expression, and bringing clothing accessible to all levels, all socioeconomic statuses. So on different levels, right? So we can find ways to get clothing drives and hand out clothes for free, right? So that's one community we're helping out. We can also get clothing donations and sell clothes for $1, right? And then it can future further projects that I would like to do. We also can like attain really nice clothing, some of the more streetwear, that vintage stuff. We want to look nice and sell it to folks and still have that price lower than going to all these fast fashion businesses. So we're trying to create a way to be more sustainable and build and create this autonomy for our community members to express themselves on different levels. So we were able to just recently host a clothing swap. It's been our second clothing swap so far here in Oceanside, and we've just been using public spaces, public parks, finding a way to then, with leftover clothing, getting it into some of our resource centers, so having clothing racks there. I just recently met someone who works, I believe, in a school in Vista, and we have had really good discussions about trying to bring clothing racks to some of the schools, especially the elementary schools, so children can go and build that autonomy, build that way of self through their clothing. And then also just wanted to let you all know that we're going to be having a fundraiser for Jay's Board Shop coming up on August 20th. A little bit about Jay's was that it's a local shop here in the deep valley of Oceanside, and they recently got broken into, and we're just trying to bring our community together and uplift and do what we can and take our part in it. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Next, excuse my English accent. Next, we have Jasmine Venegas from Enmi Palma.
Hi, my name is Jasmine. I'm with Enmi Palma. We founded this collective about 2 years ago, and our goal is to embrace community and, no, I got that wrong. Sorry, I'm nervous. Embrace different communities and diversity through different mediums. So we do a lot of different stuff with our community. We do food distributions, clothing distributions. Currently, we're working on a mural we all did. It's called Un Homenaje a Mi Ciudad, so it's an homage to Oceanside, and it has different tributes to it, all gentrification boom. Like, as we all know, recently, Oceanside has become very gentrified, and it definitely hurts seeing all our stuff, such as like the old drive-ins and all that being now a resort that almost half of us who grew up here will never be able to afford. But with our collective, we just do a lot of community-based stuff. if you guys are interested, we have a scholarship opening up, our second scholarship in November, and it will be $300 to anyone who is currently taking college classes, who lives in North County. And yeah, so if you guys want to ever like help us out, look us up. I'm pretty sure I missed like a whole bunch of stuff, but it's En Mi Palma on anything. And yeah, if you guys want to talk about anything we can do together, we really like to emphasize art as a way of community healing. And yeah, anyway, thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, it is. Next, we have Ramesis Satek of Sown in Truth Orations.
Hello. I would tell you that I could see you, but I'm a little flustered with all of the thoughts inside my head. I feel like, well, I would tell you, but also I'm still stuck with the thoughts that woke up when I woke up from my bed. I say that because that's exactly how it hit me when I woke up. And it wasn't even that I just woke up. I rolled over and it was like, oh, there I was. And all of the weight of the world just sat on my chest. I tried to breathe and I couldn't. And I tried to get up, but I just felt like something told me I shouldn't. In the end, I finally struggled out of bed. I went to the closet. I put on some clothes. I went to the bathroom. I washed my face. I looked at myself, and I knew I looked bedraggled, but I had to be here. Because today is about love, about mental health, about expressing who we are. And I can tell you that so many of us really don't have a notion of what it means to be mentally healthy. Not because we can't be, but because we don't have the time to. We're stuck struggling, trying to make sure we have money to feed the machine that makes us get the home, get the food. By the way, I need some video games too, because when I'm sitting at home and I'm tired of going out there, I need something to entertain myself. I can't go sit and talk to a doctor. I don't have time. And if I did, I don't have the money to give it to him. So really, I'm just sitting here asking you, why can't I find a place in my community where I can share? Why do I always feel like the rat, denigrated and looked down upon as if I wasn't something beneficial to the community too? I share in the same places as you. Maybe I don't understand and get the high places, the resorts that you've gentrified, but you know, I used to live here. I had a little shop, an skateboard shop there I used to go to all the time. I loved it. But then somebody came and stole it and the insurance didn't cover it, so Jay's out of a job and now we just sit there and look at it. I'd tell you I'd smoke one, but then you might tell me I was too sick to really share my story correctly. But that's okay. Because I know I have a community surrounding me, because I know I can go to Butterflies, Love, Hugs, and find Flutter. I know that if I really need to, I can go holler at Rata's Rags, and I can make sure my community is shared. And most importantly, I know that En Mi Palma, not mine, but hers, the most sacred female and Fira soul I've met in North County, Oceanside for a long, long time, that I can place my heart in there and be safe. My name is Rosh. I'm from Sown in Truth Orations. I'm actually just here trying to show you what I do, because everything that I do and everything that I try to do is about the community. On September 17th at Brooks Theater in Oceanside, you can hear a little bit of what I do, but more importantly, you will see art from about a dozen people that have nothing to do with me. You'll see at least 7 or 8 other performers grace the stage, sharing a story about what the bus ride home means to them. Because the most important thing about what we do, who we are, and how we do is making sure that the community, I get to walk with you. And most importantly, so you all know, all the proceeds will be going to my partner's dream. Creative Souls Arc Cultural Community Center. I know I've been past my time. Give me 2 more seconds, thank you. So, and what the place for that is, that's actually exactly what I've been dreaming about that would have set my mind free. To be able to go to a place that's safe, that's loving, that's wildly inclusive and diverse, and no matter what, it sees me for me. So if y'all want, maybe you can look me up at Sown in Truth Orations. Or more importantly, please, look up Free Thought Revolution and Creative Souls Arc, and make sure that North County knows that we as a community of souls support one another. Bless and thank you for your time.
So we have a few added names for those that I shared the schedule with. If you could just be patient, I will get to you. So I would be remiss if I didn't introduce Sunny Soto of Sunny Street Outreach. I'm gonna let y'all get a good look at the shirt, right? Spread the message, spread more love. Hello, pleasure to go after my man Rosh and Jasmine and Bianca. Big love to all of my community members. My name is Sunny Soto Briscoe, freshly off that wedding. I am an Oceanside local, born, bred. My blood runs through these streets. I'm a Luceño native, and I'm happy to be home. Thank you. Pretty dope to be on this stage, so thank you so much, Oscarine, for all of your work. You know, something hit me powerful, your story yesterday, is you said you used to sit out front here, hit the pizzle, and now we in here making change. That resonates with me and so many Oceansiders, because you may think that you know what Oceanside is by looking at what it has become, but what it is people changing and going through the struggle and trying to reach back and help our Oceansiders come right back to it. That is the basis of what Sunny Street Outreach is. I'm a chef, I make hot meals, but really what my message is to not just be an advocate for our houseless neighbors. And I say houseless, not homeless, because they are in their home of Oceanside just as we are. They just don't happen to have a house. It be like that sometimes. We are all almost there, probably a couple different things just away from hitting the street ourselves, right? Changing your perspective of your neighbors and the struggle that we are all going through, man. Reach back, give love, be kind. And also, I heard Josh Roberts mention earlier, you know, trying to change capitalism. I myself, the goal for my weekly outreach to be a daily outreach. I want to start a coffee and breakfast business that will be a mobile business. And in that business model, it's a buy one, give one model. So you start your day with us instead of Starbucks. You are also offering a meal and a coffee to our houseless neighbors later that day. All right? Rethinking how we do business. We all need to pay bills. I feel that. But knowing that your business can directly benefit your community should be the goal, and that should be in the heart of everybody here. So remember to donate local, remember to spread more love, right? Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. If you want to get to know more about me, what we do, I'm right out here with the coffee, so come holler at me, all right? Big love. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Okay, let's just give another round of applause for those that have come and those that are coming. So while we're here, I would like to introduce the phenomenal Cynthia Marullo to come up to this mic and share. Round of applause for Cynthia. Come on, beautiful.
I'm a little nervous. Actually, I'm very nervous. Okay. Yeah? Okay. Breathe. My name is Cynthia Murillo. I grew up mostly in Encinitas, California. I chose to stay clean off of drugs 11 months ago. I enrolled in community college. Where I found amazing transition scholars, a community of formerly incarcerated and system-impacted individuals with the same desire to better themselves and their future. I can say that I have never felt so welcome and accepted in my life. I wrote these words with the writing inspiration after having the pleasure of meeting Mr. Jimmy Santiago Baca over the summer with the Palomar College cohort, or transitions cohort. Okay. Okay, thank you. Rewind the hands of time to shine and not to whine about the time I declared what was mine. I unwind the dreams of a sublime life and nightmares that made me blind, screams that fade in the night when the light comes out rising bright. I forget my fright. I share the things I bear. It was so unfair, but did I care? Rewind, I think not, just a memory to stay grateful and not resentful. Hyperactivity and impulsivity Won't be quiet, can't sit still, she might start a riot. I'd like to rewind the hands of time and fill you in a little of my life. Let me begin. A Chicana child growing up in the barrios of San Diego. A child broken and hurt from violence that wails in the home. Like chalk that fades away, so were the tears that dried on my face. I cannot go on through life without drugs, not caring who I hurt, my kids, my family, myself. What a disgrace. Refusing rehab where I believed would be darker than the black night, where the moon is covered by clouds and there is no light. Already living in chaos caused by my habitual havoc, did the fear of death not exist? I held my breath while the end of a gun was pointed at my face, waking up in a room that had no doors, confused and full of fright because I couldn't see a light. Jails, trap houses, and alleys that sparkled with broken glass. The many times I poked and poked at my brown skin, searching for a vein, at last to take the pain away. In reality, it brought so much shame. Time went from minutes to hours, hours to days, days to weeks, weeks to months, months to years. The clouds that used to hug the beautiful round moon faded away, shining bright in the darkness for me to see. Hope y dirección es todo para mí. The guilt, disappointment, and pain are no more. Choosing a life of joy, education, family, y amor. The room now has a door. Like the stars in the sky that have been given a name, I stand before you without shame. I live now for my kids, my familia, my community. I live now for education. I have found to love in transitions. I never knew my brain would absorb education like a sponge, especially after so much drugs. So remember to shoot for the stars, and I promise you will go far. Thank you so much.
All right. Let's keep the round of applause going as I welcome Maya Howard. Yes. Maya Howard. We'll keep it going. And Maya, I'm going to have you set your stuff down right there.
Hello. So, like she said, my name is Maya. I am born and raised in Oceanside, California. I am just going to share a short writing from my journal. I like to write down all my emotions when I'm feeling confused, sad, angry, happy. I write things down. So, Saturday, August 14th, 2021. Today, I realized that my only purpose in living is to be in love. At least, that's what I've made it to be. But at the end of the day, that's such a dead-end purpose. I've lost everything. I've lost my will to live unless I'm in love. God, I can't do it anymore. Men continue to disappoint. I overthink myself to stress. I over-exaggerate myself in men's lives. I try to control things I cannot control. I fall in love with potential instead of the truth. I hate myself so much. I want to end it all. I am in pain, so much pain. I have no purpose here now. I feel like I should work harder with modeling or something. Then I feel like it's just too late for me. I just feel like nothing is for me. I compare myself to others around me. They seem to get it. They have drive, they have goals, purpose. I don't. I don't feel like I fit in anywhere in this world. I just want to be nothing, gone. And I meant to say, there's a disclaimer that this talks about kind of suicide, so I apologize for not mentioning that first, but yeah, that's my piece. And also, if there's any therapists in the crowd, I would love one. I could use one. Thank you.
Another bigger hand for that share. encouraging the help that we need. So next, I'd like to welcome Alyssa Pfeiffer. She's part of the Umoja program at Miracosta College. Alyssa.
My name's Alyssa Liberty Bell Pfeiffer. I grew up here in Oceanside since 1980, I think it would be 89. Dad being stationed in the Marine Corps. So here I am from Oceanside High School, a pirate, a class of 05. So once a pirate, always a pirate. And I really value my community here. So I've done a little bit of traveling around the United States of America, and to just be frank, I honestly, I know everyone's experience is different. Being a mixed person of Hispanic, Black, white, and a little Chinese, I would say I didn't really experience a lot of racism out here in Oceanside. Thank you. I know some of it might still go on, but when I went to a different state, Colorado, I was quite, I was like, am I in the United States of America? Is this a third world country? I was quite culture shocked, and I'm like, what's been happening to me? Like, I'm just going to the store, like, So I went through quite a bit, and I am now here, went through quite a bit. Like, brutality is real, some of the stuff that's going on. So I'm also like part of Transitions, and she said she might not mention anyone, but I'm proud to be part of Transitions. Because some of us are activists, so you might think of many people going to jail. Oh, there's such a bad rap for people going to jail. But you know what? Rosa Parks was a criminal. She was in jail. The suffragettes of the 1920s who got women the right to vote, to have a voice in this world. 100-year anniversary was in 2020, a few years ago. So they went into isolation for over 6 months, which is the worst kind of like punishment you get for what? Talking about having possibly, hey, can we have a right to vote, have a voice in our country? So just changing that view of people going to jail. Some of us, we do go because we're going to stand up for what's the right thing to do and make things better. So some of us pioneer in that. So I've definitely gone through some definitely trials in the last few years during all that time, and it definitely affects your mental health. So here with the mental health, this whole party going on, thank you. So, I have, getting the therapy I need at Miracosta has been awesome. The Umoja community has been great. It's a community for African American students, people of color, and just even having those talks, because even in other types of different culture, everyone beautiful, all cultures are beautiful and diverse. There are some things that in the Black community that they deal with, whether it's the police brutality or different things like that. I love our Oceanside police though, so they've been awesome. So I had to give them a big shout out for the Oceanside police. So it's a beautiful, just nurturing environment that has been at Miracosta College. We actually just went to a student leadership summit at UC Santa Barbara just this past weekend. So that was beautiful to see students from Oakland, from Corona, from LA, from all different schools, and we were there and just talking about just the things, how we can make social change, not even in an angry way, but with love and moving forward. So they have the ethics of love, of mattering, of sharing, and even helping our community to us to be, I guess we're going to college for whatever it is we're going for, and how to bring more awareness and love and bring us all together. So I also want to give a shout out to Mr. Don Love and Mr. Nate Klein, who are wonderful counselors at Miracosta College, and I want to thank Miracosta College and Oceanside. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm actually going to welcome Lisa Johnson of Toastmasters next. Thank you.
Everyone talks, but not everyone speaks. Everyone can talk, but not everyone can speak. I am Lisa Bell Johnson, and I am here to reintroduce to you Toastmasters International. Now, Toastmasters International has been around for a very long time. However, there's a new face and a new platform and a brand new curriculum that has just come about within the last 2 years. That format is called Pathways. First of all, let's rewind. What is a Toastmaster? A Toastmaster is someone that hones in to enhance and cultivate the art of communication. It's not just about public speaking, although it is public speaking. But how many of you know that oftentimes communication involves what you do not say? Communication says more in your body language, in your tone, in your voice diction. Everything about Toastmasters helps to enhance and cultivate that communication goal that each individual has. Now, on to the platforms. We have an at-home platform named Pathways. In Pathways, there's a self-paced educational curriculum where each individual member, once you sign up, you choose your path. My path is effective coaching. That's right. I like to facilitate and help those to cultivate their own communication styles and individual leadership goals. At Toastmasters, you are able to take your time in the setting of your own home, but then at our meetings, that's where we get to play, we get to practice. I call it how you practice is how you play. Now, at our meetings, it is structured from start to finish with timed, very specific timelines for each segment. We have 3 segments. The first one is prepared speeches, which most of you are probably familiar with. However, the impromptu speaking, that is where individuals are called randomly, spontaneously. And lastly, is our evaluation and feedback. That's the most important. It's my favorite because here you get to hear real-time feedback on your growth and on your strengths and what else you can improve upon. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm from Rock Church San Marcos, Toastmasters International, and I would love for you to be a part of us. Thank you very much.
Sorry. Okay, and next up we have an inspiration by Vanessa Rojas.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me here. I just want to apologize ahead of time. I'm unprepared. And actually, my little speech thing I locked the keys in Manny's car, so I'm really unprepared because I planned on changing and freshening up, so that's not going to happen. So I'm winging it, basically. Okay. All right, so I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Vanessa Rojas. I am in transitions at Miracosta College. I am formerly incarcerated. I am a survivor of addiction, 30 plus years of addiction to heroin and meth, and I have a mental health history that expands probably a lot longer than that. I'm a survivor of sexual abuse, domestic violence, generational trauma, and as I said, I have mental health issues too, but who doesn't? I don't have a PhD, but I feel like I am qualified to talk about mental health just because of my own lived experience. And it's so amazing that, you know, this little sign here, because I am such a firm believer in love. I believe that love has a power to heal. And my own healing is because I've learned to love myself. I've learned to see people for who they are. I believe that everybody's life has value. I believe that there is no one lost cause. We all have potential. So I just want to make that clear. It doesn't matter where you come from, what your background is, what you're struggling with. Everybody has potential. Everybody has value. Okay, so bear with me for a minute. I'm trying to gather my thoughts because I have so many going on in my head right now. Okay, I chose to talk about a quote that really resonated with me, and it was one from Mahatma Gandhi. I don't know if probably most of you may know who he is. He was basically I don't even know his title right now. He was from India, and there was oppression happening over there, and I think they were trying to separate. Well, long story short, this quote it really resonated with me, and it goes like this: "The best way to find ourselves is to lose ourselves in the service of others," and I believe that to be 100% true. I think that when we step out of ourselves and we help others, we eventually end up finding who we are and what our purpose is. So, okay, let's see. And I wrote these notes in the bathroom right before I came up here. Thank you. Okay. So I want to encourage everybody here, because something that Oscar said really resonated with me also, that somebody reached out to him and helped him. And for myself, my transitions community helped me. There's been people out here. I am in reentry, by the way. So if I had not had the help that I have, I would not be where I'm at today. And I made a promise to God when I was in prison that I was going to make sure that everybody came into my path was going to benefit from knowing me in one way or another. And I've been keeping that promise every day, and I intend on keeping that promise for the rest of my life. As I said before, love has the power to heal. One act of kindness. You never know if your one act of kindness is what somebody needs to change their life. So I just want everybody to keep that in mind, and I'm hoping that we all get involved in our community. And wouldn't it be great if this just starts a whole movement? Because a lot of, the world watches California. California is where it all starts. Wouldn't it be wonderful if our community would be the crown jewel of California and the world in regards of making the world a better place? So with that being said, I'm gonna close out for now. Thank you guys. I love everybody.
That's beautiful. Another round of applause for our wonderful speakers. What courage, what power. And thank you, Oscarine Ortega, for giving them the space to share. Awesome, awesome. So now while I'm talking, I know I can bring in Dr. Tony, and our drummers are going to get set up, but I know I am confident that she can talk while the drummers are getting set up, because after all this wonderful sharing, we got to drum some of this stuff out. Yeah?
Beautiful. So you guys might be wondering why this section happened this way at the conference, but Oscarine is always about bringing every voice in the community in, and just hearing what people are doing is always interesting. But we didn't really process after the last group of speakers and this, so I want to give you, while they're setting up, 5 minutes to process sort of what you heard, but then I'm going to ask you to do something else. We have several speakers still here, and Oscarine really would like to hear from the audience. So as you're processing, if you could generate a question or a comment or something that you would like to say, and the speakers will come up after this drumming. Drumming is so central to our lives because it is our heartbeats, right? It is our heartbeats. And there are many cultures that have used the drum to heal broken hearts, to heal faulty hearts, to connect us together. So this piece right now is more powerful in healing and in connecting us as a community. So I want to give the drummers in advance a round of applause, okay? But I do want you to process, so if you will talk to the people around you for a few minutes, we're going to give them a few more minutes to set up, okay? So you're processing what you heard, but also something you might want to ask the speakers. We can pick the lights up for a minute, chat to the people next to you, behind you, in front of you.